Hey guys, it is editing me popping in for just a minute. I went back and looked and I realized it's been almost 5 months since the last time I posted. I have missed you guys, let me tell you. It has been such a crazy time. I've been filming all along and just didn't feel like anything ever got completed, and so there was no natural stop to the video, and I just never had the time to sit down and edit and post anything. But I've got a few spare minutes right now because I am procrastinating on an even larger task, and so this seemed like a great alternative. So I've put together a really long video of a bunch of things that have happened over the last 5 months. Grab a project, grab a coffee, put me on as background noise because we've got a lot of stuff to catch up on. Have some really great projects and yarn purchases that you're gonna wanna see. And there's some big changes on the horizon. So hang in there, and then hopefully we're gonna be back to a regular posting schedule. So welcome to the last 5 months. Hey guys, it's Kimberly from Dirt Floor Fibers, and welcome or welcome back. We are on the move as per usual. What's new with me, right? So my plan for today, I had grabbed my stash. So that bag, and the blue bag over there are all of the Use It This Year yarn stash. And it keeps growing because I keep buying new stuff and stuffing it into it. If you saw my video earlier this year when I did my whole planning thing, you know I put all this yarn in like a big plastic tote, and it was starting to overflow a little bit. Not because there was too much yarn, there's still plenty of room, but it was just getting disorganized. I had stuffed other random stuff in there with it. So I wanted to get it organized. Now I am still, fingers crossed, hoping to move soon. And so as I'm in transition, one of the things that I was kind of thinking of doing is, because I don't know how convenient it'll be to use my Swift and ball winder. Again, I can always ball things up by hand, but it's so much easier and faster to have the cakes. And so what I was thinking is I would go through and all the projects coming up soon, I would go ahead and cake everything and put it in like a gauze bag along with its labels. And then that way, when I was ready to grab a project, it was all wound up and ready to go. And because fingers crossed, I'm going to use it fairly soon, it wouldn't be sitting in cake form for like too long. So before I did that though, I wanted to get pictures of everything. And so it's nice and sunny and really hot but gorgeous out today. So I thought I would grab everything and go take some pictures just so I could have that in my back pocket, so that when I was ready to start projects, I would have pictures for Ravelry of everything in its skein, and not just after it had been wound up. So that's on my list. I did forget to grab the sheep's water, so I'm gonna have to stop by Walmart and go get a few gallons of water just to tide them over, because it is really hot. I do not want my poor sheep to get sweaty. But I've been seeing a lot of things on, I guess it's been Instagram that's mostly coming from, so I don't know if it's off people's TikToks and it's got reposted or whatever, but people have been posting about the new yarn coming to Michaels. And so I ran to a Michaels, not the one nearest me, but one that I usually like, and they had like nothing, new or old, and it was not a very exciting yarn section, so I didn't even bother to film that. It wasn't even worth it. But they did have, hang on, I'm gonna accidentally cover the camera 12 times, this cute little book. I've been looking to get one of these. I normally look at like the larger ones, for like a little false book, to hold receipts. And then so that way it's cute, it's all in one location, I can pop it on my bookshelf so I don't lose it. But I can never find one that I really like, but I really liked this one. And it's actually like just the right size for my cell phone, which I don't know what to do with that knowledge, but my cell phone fits in here really well too. I tested it. And then as I was driving up to the Michaels, I noticed on the corner they had a place called a 7 Brew, and I feel like I've heard of that before, but I'm not entirely sure. But it caught my eye, especially since cars were like double lined around the building, and I was like, I'm gonna go get myself a 7 Brew. Never been there. Kind of a weird menu, but I got there. Let me turn it around so you can see the logo on it. So there she is. I got a Blondie, which I think is vanilla and caramel. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to go get one. But considering it's right next to the Michaels, definitely worth it. And it's a nice big drink. I got the large one, by the way, just in case you were curious. So we are going to go and get our photography done. And then we're going to go into work. And you're like, Kim, you're going to go to work like that. I have to change into costume anyway. So I figured there's no point in getting cute and then going and changing into costume anyway. So let's go say hi to the sheep. Let's go get some photography done. And then let's go to work. All right, guys, so today is Saturday, July 5th. Oh my gosh, July 4th was rough and I am feeling it. Let me tell you. It was a great day. We had like a water cart that was going around. We're giving out water to everybody, but somehow I think between like lifting the water and getting on and off a golf cart all day, I messed up my back. And of all the things that I need right now, a back that hurts is not one of them. On the plus side, went to go check my mail today and I got my Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club. If you remember, I think I showed you the last month's. It's actually bi-monthly now, and so this is the one for July and August, if I'm not mistaken. I did recently get the one that was for May and June. That one came late because they were waiting on some things, but this one came right on time, so that's absolutely fantastic. And I kind of meant to cancel my subscription just because the colors and stuff weren't really going in the direction that I was like super interested in, and I have so much spinning fiber that I really need to catch up on everything. But I forgot to, so we get another box. So let's go ahead and open it and see what we have inside. And that's what she looks like at the first peek. So it's poolside vibes, perfect for July and August, right? That's interesting. So it looks like this one's undyed, and it's supposed to dye up fabulously according to the card. But BFL Rose and Lotus. That's a weird, super soft. I don't know. That's cool. I don't know. What do I do with it? Do I like dye it first? Do I just spin it? It smells funny. I don't know what it smells like. It smells weird. Like not bad, but just like there's a smell to it. Interesting. That's interesting. See, this is good. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't cancel for this month. So not my favorite color combination, though does say poolside to me quite a bit. A little pina colada thrown in there as well. Not as soft as I was expecting. And I wonder if it's the, what did I say that fiber was? It wasn't pineapple, was it? Did I make that up? No, pineapple fiber. It looks like it has like a little bit of like, I want to say neps, but there's, maybe I would say neps. You see that? Like right there. That's interesting. Again, not as soft as I would have expected or thought. Weird. So now I'm kind of excited about spinning these up just for the weird blends of fibers in them. So never mind, I take that back, what I said about canceling before. Guess we're back at it. Let's see what's in our little goodie bag. Oh, this is cracking me up. I think I have this one. Or maybe mine's a different brand. No, mine's a sock ruler. But it's a slat bracelet. I can't even... Ugh. That's also a ruler. I have a sock ruler that's also a slat bracelet. But this one's a little bit smaller, so that's kind of nice. And then we have our Eunice the Sheep sticker poolside version. And instead of tea this time, we got a lemonade. And then our stitch marker, which I'm a little sad. I feel like back in the day, a lot of their stitch markers actually had like claw clasps and like where, I don't want to say real stitch markers because, I mean, anything can be turned into a stitch marker if you try hard enough, right? But just putting a charm on a light bulb marker to me is not like a super special stitch marker. I'm a snob now, guys. I'm telling you. That's super pretty. That's a cute charm. Anyway, I wanted to show you how far I had gotten on my July project, which, if you remember, it's the Washed Out. I think it's the Washed Out. I always have the name of it wrong, by Joji Locatelli. And it's a 3-color shawl. So the problem, so I've got color number 1 down here, and then fades into color number 2, and then I've just started color number 3, which is this light gray. The problem was that the middle color yarn, you needed a certain length. And the pattern was like super serious about like, you need this amount of yarn. Well, the yarn I picked out for it did not have that amount. So I did get a second skein of it, but I really don't want to open it because, open it? I guess I'd use it? I don't know. What's the right term there? Anyway, I don't want to have to crack into that one because I'm so close. I'm losing yarn chicken. All right, so there's supposed to be, I think, 11 of the, I think it's 11 repeats, but so like 11 of the dark little stripes. I'm on stripe number, let me recount, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I did count that right. So 10. I am on stripe number 10. I've done the first pass, but I need to come back. And this is all the yarn I have. That's it. So I think there's a chance. That's how wide it is. I think there's a chance that I could make it work to get back across, but there's no way I can do 2 more rows to do another stripe in this. So I'm literally 1 stripe short of yarn. I really don't have to wind up that other skein. I might have to just suck it up and do it though, because especially with the fact that there's a lace pattern, that if I don't have the right number of stitches, that I can't really like just fudge it. And I could do like an extra stripe of the gray to compensate, but I would know that it's not right and I would be able to see it. So I was hoping I was going to come up with a way to not have to open the other skein, but I think I'm going to have to. I lost yarn chicken. I knew I was going to lose yarn chicken, but I was hoping I was wrong, and then there was a little bit of like built-in wiggle room. There is not. So if you do the washout, pay attention to the yardage because she's not kidding. And welcome to my hallway. You're like, we're never out here. What are we doing? Well, that's because we've got stuff to do. Let me tell you what's going on. So I may have mentioned in a previous video that I'm super hoping to move soon. I don't know exactly where I'm going, but this is we're getting a farm. Like, I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where, but we're living with the sheep somehow, some way. And so I haven't been able to like figure out how to sell the house that I'm in order to buy a new house at the same time, because like the market's moving so fast that like I need to know how much my house would sell for to know how much cash I have in hand to go purchase a new property, and I haven't figured out how to make it work. So I think I found an offer for my house. The contract's not in yet, but if I wait until the contract's in, like I'm already gonna be so far behind. I'm already so far behind right now. So before waiting for anything to be official, we're just gonna go ahead and start planning and pretending that it is. So we gotta pack. We gotta pack right now. All right, so mistakes were made. It's now Saturday. We're getting ready for second Sundays tomorrow, but I came to hang out with the sheep and I had some errands to run, right? So I put them in their auxiliary kind of fence area with some stilt grass I wanted them to eat down. And there was absolutely zero chance of rain in the forecast. Went and ran some errands and then started heading back this way to put them in, and check out the storm clouds. You can probably hear like the thunder that's going on. There is some crazy lightning a few minutes ago. And you can see, well, actually it's looking brighter on my phone than it is in real life, but it is super dark back in here. So we are gonna go hurry and rescue the sheep and see if they ate down any of the stilt grass. But I wanna get them back to their main pen before all heck breaks loose. So let's go find these guys. Oh my gosh, it's pouring. I'm wet, they're wet. So now it's lightning and it's scary. And I'm probably gonna get stuck getting out of here. I'm sopping wet. I'm sopping wet. But the sheep are fine. They got more snacks. They're in their house now. Oh my gosh. Nope. It is Monday, July 21st, and I apologize for the slightly weird lighting. I couldn't quite figure it out because it is 7:30 in the morning. Do I ever film at 7:30 in the morning? Am I ever up at 7:30 in the morning? No, not a morning person, but I could not sleep. And I'm laying in bed, tossing and turning, and I'm like, what is my problem? I have two problems. Number one, I'm working on a project for my day job that is absolutely occupying my mind, and I'm so excited about it. I was at work until 11 o'clock last night, and I was still on a roll, but I was like falling asleep at my desk, and I'm like, I have to go home. So I'm really excited to go back to work. I know, like, when does this happen, right? And work on my project. But it's also day one of Nitty Natty's Sock Week. Okay, so 2 years ago was the first time. I'm not really a sock knitter. First of all, let's preface that. I love shawls. Shawls are my favorite. Scarves, things like that. Enjoy a good hat or pair of mitts on occasion. I don't knit socks. It's not my thing. But hand knit socks are also the best. So mixed feelings there, right? And we are going to be making, fingers crossed, the Archivist. Okay. I'm a little nervous for a couple of reasons. First of all, there's only 2 projects up on Ravelry. One of them is the original sock that's in the picture. And then the other one is still marked as in progress and there's no notes on it. So that's warning number 1, that this might be a little bit of trial and error, but that's okay. The other thing that's interesting about them is that they're knit on a size 1. Like traditionally, socks are done on a size 2 needle. I mean, you can use whatever size needle you want for any project, but usually sock needles are number 2s, right? These are on US number 1s, which means my gauge is already going to be off out the starting gate. And so the sock comes in sizes, foot circumference, 2 foot circumference of 7-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch, and 10-inch. My foot measures 8.5 inches. But you also want some negative ease. But the pattern doesn't say how much stretch is in there, right? And so I'm already kind of thrown off for stitch count. So the 2 middle stitch counts, so for like an 8 and a 9, is 64 and 72. 64 is closer to what I would cast on for like a normal sock. So it's making me worried that I would cast on that for a size 1 needle. So I think I'm gonna size up and go for the size 9-inch to be on the safe side. I also tend to knit really tightly in the round on small circumference because it like stresses me out. So we're gonna go for the size 9-inch and I'll let you guys know how she goes. So the needles that we're gonna be using, I picked up a set of ChiaoGoo. These are the, I have the like regular set of interchangeable tip needles. Yeah, interchangeable tips. You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. But last year, the only reason my stocking got done in time was because I used a circular needle. I don't like magic loop. I've never been able to get my head around it. I don't like it. Maybe I would if I practiced more, but I just don't. I love double pointed needles. Those are my first love. But as I've started picking instead of throwing, I've gotten faster, but I haven't figured out how to do it on oh my gosh, what are they called? Double pointed needles yet. It feels like the needles are always in the way and I like just get going and it's time to change to the next one. And so not ideal. So I picked up a full set of these little guys and these have 2-inch and 3-inch tips. I was saying that I was thinking I might leave it in this container rather than transfer it to my other needle bag, but like the tips keep falling out. But so you have 2 and 3-inch tip needles right there. And then it also comes with the twist cables, which come in 5-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch. So I'm going to need to use the 5-inch plus the 2-inch tips to get me a 9-inch circular needle. And then it comes with all the little accoutrement, which includes tips to go on the end of the cables. I think those are supposed to be stitch markers, and then the little doodads that help you tighten them. And then it comes with a little ruler and gauge. So those are the needles I'm going to be using. Oh, and I also picked up because you need to knit flat for the heel in this sock, I think. I'm pretty sure you do. Picked up some more of the Knit Collage. Not Knit Collage. That's a yarn brand. Of Collage needles, which are the square ergonomic ones, because I want to give them another chance. I liked it when I used them on my Musselburgh hat, so we're going to see what it's like for socks. Very excited. And then I also, not needles, but I got this. This is from Daisy Said Bags, and it's a yarn sleeve holder, skein coat sort of thing. Usually they're like a band that goes around, but I thought the cup was intriguing. Looks like a little shower cap. I think I had a stitch marker inside of it and it fell out. I don't know what happened there. Oops. But anyway, I thought that would be cute, and I'm going to try that out with my yarn, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. All right, so here's a picture of my yarn. This is from my photo shoot that I did my other video, which might come out after this video. We'll see what happens. But here is what it looked like, all caked up. No. Shoot, this is not the right yarn. That's for another project, but how cute is that? Let me go find the correct yarn. Holy cow, let's try this again. So I went downstairs to find the actual yarn. So in the video that you haven't seen yet, because I haven't finished it yet, I am working on winding up all of my this year's stash. There's reasons, I'll talk about it then, doesn't matter for right now. So I'm digging through the bin of things that I've already wound up, and I'm like, I know I wound this up. It was next in line to be wound. I had not yet wound it. So I started with one of the minis. You might notice that it's not caked. And that's because several loops in, winding away, the skein like disintegrates on my Swift. It was so bad that I had to pull it off of the ball winder and then wind the rest of it by hand. And so I was really, really tempted to put it back through the ball winder so it would be a cake, so it would match the other two. And I decided it wasn't worth it, because it'll probably have to be balled up at the end anyway after I'm all done with it. So, first one, oh gosh, just dropped the main skein. Here's the second, oh, look at matching my shirt. Definitely my color scheme, right? And then let me grab the main skein, which is now on the floor. And here it is. So how gorgeous is that color combination going to be for this pair of socks? I love it, okay? This is unfortunately a discontinued colorway. This was from the Backyard Chicken collection from Hue Loco for last year. This is the French Marin colorway with the two minis being Mulberry, assuming that's this one, and Agate. It's a really, really pretty color combination. I was hoping to do like one of those one skein scarves with like, or shawls with the tassels in this color, because like that would be so pretty. But I felt like of all the colors, this screamed the Archivist socks. Like it was perfect. So we're going to quote unquote waste the yarn on a nice pair of socks. So I'm really excited about that. This is the Phyllis sock base, which I think is what all their Backyard Chicken collection is on, which is a 75-25 with 460 yards in the 100 gram skein, and then it comes with the two 20 gram minis. That's the yarn. Project bag, I think, is going to be this one. We are gonna go cast on. Ah! Welcome to my office. Ignore my mess in the background. I'm getting ready to stop for a lunch break because it's 11:44 and I'm dying for a salad, but I cast on, we're all good. I used an alternating cable cast on because it starts out with a 2x2 rib. So boom, there we go, ready to go. But I was just on Instagram for a quick scroll and Nitty Natty had a post and it said 8 finished sock submissions so far. And I was like, it's 11:45 in the morning. How did anyone finish a sock that fast? And that's when I realized that when I had opened up a tab to check on the starting date for Sock Week 2025, I I actually somehow got on Sock Week 2024. Sock Week started yesterday, guys. I'm already a day behind. I was so proud of myself for getting cast on this morning, and I'm behind already. So we're gonna have to make up for that a little bit later. But all right, let me go get lunch and then we'll get back to work. All right, so it is just about 10 o'clock and it is hot outside. It is 95 according to my car. So hopefully my wet hair from my shower will dry super fast, but it's neither here nor there. I'm gonna go stop and get a really early lunch because I have a work deadline today. Hard deadline of 6, self-imposed deadline of 3, and we all know how well the self-imposed deadline of end of day yesterday worked, because I still have stuff to do, but that's not necessarily my fault. I had an employee who had an emergency and I covered for her, so you know, it was worth it to lose some of my writing time, and I got to replace it with some knitting time, so you know, it all worked out. Oh my gosh, it was such a finicky start. First of all, check out that color. It would have made a gorgeous shawl, like the one I was originally planning on doing, but this screams not only socks, but like the Archivist. I mean, I just feel like the color scheme fits the theme of the sock. It's gorgeous, I love it. My Daisy Said bag is working great for a center pull. It might work for pulling from the outside edge since it's not as tight as a skein coat, but I'm not sure, but I'm loving it for the center pull. The cast on I told you guys about yesterday in my quick video from my office, I used an alternating cable cast on in the pattern of the 2x2 rib, which took forever to actually do. The yarn kept like splitting, and I don't know that it's the yarn. Well, it was the yarn because the yarn was doing it, but I haven't had trouble with splitting since then. I think it was just working on the slippery needles, small circumference, doing that particular type of cast on. I think that was the reason. So we are flying now, kind of, sort of. It's still taking a lot more energy than I was anticipating to do ribbing, but that's okay. So I just didn't get as much done yesterday during my project time because the project required reading, and this was not an ice-free project like I anticipated, so I had to finish. All right, so it is Friday and I am just running into work. Have not even got a chance to touch my socks today. I have been so busy, but I wanted to show you an update. So Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Thursday, Friday? I think it was Wednesday. I was determined to finish up the top part of the cuff and get my stripe section done. Was so proud of myself, sat down Wednesday night, knit, got to the end and realized that my bag that had my contrast color in was sitting on my desk at work, so I couldn't do my stripes. So Thursday, I did both sets of stripes, and now I'm ready to switch back to my main color to finish off the rest of my foot. So that is what we have going on so far. And I have to say, I'm loving, so I hate this much rib, that is driving me crazy, but having the rib in the size 1 needles, really nice fabric. Like, it's slightly denser, obviously, than usual, but I don't know, I just really like the way it feels. So, and look how pretty the color is. I love it. All right, let's keep going. All right, so it's now Sunday. Today's the last day to work for Sock Week. Clearly, we are not getting a full sock on Sock Week, but this is how much I have done so far. And it looks so tiny, but it does stretch. And I know I said it before, but I'm loving the fabric that's coming out with using the size 1 needles with the 2x2 rib. And I've got to say, not to toot my own horn or anything, but look at those stripes. Like, oh, they are so clean and so even. I'm very excited. Can't even tell where the beginning of the round is. Yay! So anyway, the thing that I'm struggling with right now is the length. Now, I've said it before, I'm not really a sock knitter, but like this looks really long for a cuff, and I'm not even halfway finished with this section. So it still has a good way to go, which feels really long as a sock to me. I think it's because I wear mostly shorty socks, but I'm afraid that if I stop it early, because I feel like this would be like a good length, like cuff and foot, or cuff and body. I don't know what that part's called, ankle, whatever. It's disproportionate. Like, it would look silly to have the heel right here and the stripes so low. So I think I'm gonna trust the process, and I'm gonna do the recommended amount of rounds. And then that'll give me a pair of socks that's like, I guess like crew length, a little bit longer than what I usually wear. And then it'll be a good test for me to tell like what length socks I really like. So I think the answer is shorty, but we'll figure it out. But I'm loving it so far. I think it's gonna take 2 or 3 weeks to finish this. That's okay. And my little pouch is still going strong. So I cannot wait to finish this section and get on to the heel, because the heel is always my favorite part. Is that everybody else's favorite part? What part of your socks do you like to make? It's the heel. I like turning a heel. What do you have on your ear? Something on your ear, buddy. You're a mess. Look at this pretty face. Oh my goodness. You're gorgeous. Yeah. I want to live with you. I really do. We need to cohabitate. Because the property has a really nice tobacco barn, and I think she would really like a tobacco barn to live in. Yeah, is that better than your house with a tarp as a roof? Yeah, I know. Look at this face. Yeah, I'm sorry. Was that too personal? No PDAs? All right, we should probably actually go to work. Cornelius is back there still being a pig. Oh, I know, buddy. Cornelius came over to say hello. Look at this pretty face. But check out, let me see if I can turn. Check out his horn. Where's your horns? He has, where is it? Show your horns, buddy. Show your horns. Look at this. Where did this horn come from? He's supposedly a Romney, and I don't think Romney have horns. It's one of the reasons why I got you. So what is this? And it's not like, it's got a little wiggle to it. His little fuzzles are coming back in on the top of his head that he lost. But where are the horns? Where are the horns coming from? What are you, sir? What are you? What are you? Yeah, don't baby your rams, and don't pet them on the head or kiss them on the face or do any of the things that I do, because I come to regret it later. Look how sweet he is. Oh my goodness. You're gonna make beautiful babies, I hope. And he kept his nose wrinkle. Do you guys see that? I thought maybe he just had like a little boo-boo on his nose when I got him, and that's why he had a nose wrinkle. But his nose wrinkle has stayed. Are you handsome? You're very dignified, Cornelius. Except for the fact that your food is stuck to your nose. That's not so great. But we'll ignore that. Alright, so I didn't film the last couple of days because we have been depresso espresso, let me tell you. So today is Sunday, and I'm headed now to the garbage place to take a bag of trash. Nothing exciting, just a normal bag of household trash. Yeah, so the property that I had offered on and received a counter offer and was like, that sounds great. Didn't hear anything back. So last Sunday, I texted the listing agent who I was working with, and I'm like, hey, so the terms sound great. They don't, but that's fine. Terms sound great. What next? And Tuesday, he finally got back to me with I hope I'll have an answer for you soon. Thursday, the property goes to pending status on all the real estate sites. And I'm like, pending from what? Pending for somebody else? So I text the guy Friday morning because I figured texting at, the middle of the night on a Thursday was not the way to ingratiate myself to somebody. And then got a response back of like, oh yeah, somebody else swooped in with another contract. And I'm like, well, the whole point of working with a listing agent was so you could get the full 6% commission instead of just a 3% commission, and that you could tell me if something like this was going to happen. But no. So, yeah, there's not even a so at that point. So I spent all of Friday and like most of Saturday being depressed about it and like, what the heck am I going to do? So yesterday I'm like, screw it. I'm reaching back out to properties I haven't heard back from. And so I like reached out to a bunch of people. I'm going to go look at a property today. It's like a 3-hour drive. So it's 8:30. I'm meeting there at noon. We have to stop by the dump first. So we're starting all over again, but we're not giving up. We will get a farm eventually. All right, guys, so as a little recap, we are now on Wednesday at like 5:30 something in the morning. I am already running behind, which I hate running behind at 5:30 in the morning because how does that even happen? But we're still on time. We still have extra time so we can stop and get morning caffeine. And my voice sounds terrible. What is this? I don't know. Anyway, so I didn't film at the last place I went to check out on Sunday. I didn't think about it when I was there. And then afterwards I was like, crud, but it was too late to turn around. So I like the place I went to go look at. It's not ideal. They are offering owner financing right on the plate. So that's like a good thing. But it's at the very top of my budget. There is absolutely no room for error. I'd be like moving in with no disposable income. So we would be saving up for everything that had to happen on the property, which is not ideal. I wish I had like a little more of a buffer, but we can do it. Maybe. We'll find out. I've got 2 more properties to go look at today, and then hopefully I can put in some sort of other offer and see if I can get one of these. Because if not, we are back to the drawing board. But let's go ahead and get driving so that we are not late. Good morning, everyone. Today is, I don't know, Sunday, August 10th-ish, something like that. Today is second Sundays anyway, so you look at a calendar, figure out what date that is if that matters to you. It's like 7 something in the morning, and I stopped to say hi to the sheep, give them a chance to come out and graze a little bit. I've got their grain sitting in the car. They're a little low on hay right now because where I was storing it had worked out really well, but we've had so much rain lately that some water got like under the bottom, and so the hay on the bottom has like some mold on it, which is no good. So I'm just giving them a chance to have a little extra snacks out here this morning. I'm so sorry, I haven't done a video in ages. I've been recording stuff, I just haven't put anything up because nothing's gotten finished. So I've been working on a moving video, which has fallen apart because like it's just absolute chaos. But I did get most of my big furniture loaded into my storage pod, but I had packed up a bunch of yarn because I was just gonna put it in my business storage unit. And when the guys were there packing, they packed all like my squishy clothes that I had put in trash bags and stuff. And one of the guys was like, can I put this in the pod to like fill in space? Like I don't want to leave like empty space inside the pod. And so first I said no, and then eventually I said yes. So most of my yarn is sitting inside my storage pod and I don't have access to it, which is like killing me right now. That's not to say that I don't still have plenty of yarn, just like I would have packed it differently if I had known they were going to put stuff in the pod. I would have kept out the stuff that I packed first. Anyways, it's not a big deal. But I was working on that, and then I'm still working on my Sock Week socks, which I'm down to the heel, and it's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks. I'm not entirely sure at this point. So I'm still working on those, so I haven't finished that. And then I haven't done like any sort of July or August update because I've been so busy with trying to pack for the move that I just haven't got anything done. I don't have any finished projects. I don't have any new cast-ons other than my socks, so it's not very exciting. And actually even today, oh, my arm's getting tired. I'm so sorry. Hang on. There we go. Super boring second Sunday because I have no product. Like, I have not gotten the chance to do anything. So I think I have a few like cute crochet items I'm going to show you. But yeah, so really slow, really small day, but I wanted to pop on and just say hi because I haven't seen you guys in forever and I miss saying hello. So say hello to the sheep. I filmed like nothing. I am so sorry. It's actually like almost 7 o'clock right now. Market's been over for hours and it was great. Obviously I didn't have as much stuff as I ever planned to have. September is going to be the month though. Like, I can feel it in my bones. I'm feeling motivated. Hopefully I have most of my stuff packed for this stupid move and I can like just spend some time concentrating on crocheting some stuff or finishing up some of my knit projects or something. But I'm gonna pop in some pictures here with some of the crochet items that I made at the market. So at the end of the day, I ended up selling a good amount of yarn. I really need to get dyeing. I kind of smashed all of my undyed yarn like in a corner as I was getting other things packed. So I'm gonna see if I can unearth that and maybe do just a couple of rounds just to get enough yarn to get me through September. But we're also getting into like Fiber Festival season. Hey guys, it is now Sunday. I have a little bit of an update on all kinds of fronts. I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna tell you tonight and what I'm gonna wait on until it's official, but I was house hunting today, hence me being all sweaty from like walking through fields. But now I'm in project mode. Got the jammies on, even though it's only like 5-6 o'clock, something like that. But project number 1. So I was going to, at one point in time, finish painting all of the safety eyes I have in stock. So these are all of my 12 millimeters. Pretty sure they're 12 millimeters. Oh my gosh, come on, focus. There we go. Got sparkly. Okay, so anyway, so these are all my 12 millimeters that I have in stock right now. And so I was gonna go ahead and finish painting all of them. So they all have pretty sure they have two layers of glitter. I use kind of this glitter paint. And so it's just sparkles set into a clear kind of background. And then I'm gonna go in and paint them with this color shifting acrylic. And that's how I do my eyes. So I usually do 2 coats of each. And so we're gonna go through and get these painted, and then while it's drying, do a little crochet. Just sitting here in the driveway for a few minutes, getting my thoughts together before we head out to our day. It's like 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna go check on the sheep, go into work for a few minutes, and then come back home because we have work to do. Let me tell you, for like the last 5 days, I've been having what I like to call like a slow motion panic attack. I've started this video like 100 times, but it's only now like starting to fall into place. So we're gonna try again. So I either did something brilliant or something really stupid. Not quite sure which one yet, but we'll see where it goes. So basically, you guys know if you've been around for a little while that ever since I got the sheep, I've been wanting to have my own farm. This whole like renting land somewhere else and then commuting to take care of the sheep, it's too stressful, it's too much. I don't like it. I want to be able to wake up in the morning, make myself a cup of coffee, and then just go hang out with the sheep and watch the sunrise. Like that is what we need. But the problem is getting the right piece of property and getting it before somebody else swoops in with cash. Because there's been a lot of investors lately. I don't know if it's like the changes in the economy or if it's always been this way and I just didn't know it. But man, people, especially in this area, swoop in and buy things up cash, sight unseen a lot, and then they flip it and they sell it for twice as much. And it's like forcing everybody out of the real estate market. There's also been some changes in zoning. And so, especially where I am right now, a lot of people like the idea of living country, living rural. They want the agrarian kind of feel, but they don't actually want the agriculture. And so a lot of places around here are going to like this rural residential where houses have like a minimum size lot and the lots are huge, but you can't actually do any agriculture on it because it's rural residential. So like I even found a place which I'll probably tell you in the story later, because it leads to what I'm looking at now, where it's basically a house on 20 acres and it's zoned residential. What are you going to do with 20 acres on a residential plot? Like, it baffles me. I don't know who's buying this stuff, but it's driving up the prices and it's making it really hard for anybody who actually wants to engage in agriculture to do that, which is sad because Virginia is like built on agriculture. It's what we are, right? History and agriculture. So it's been a little bit of a hot mess. But, so what I did, because I always overthink things because I'm afraid of being too impulsive, because I'm very impulsive. So this time I just decided to let like the lizard brain win, and we just went for it. So I put my house not on the market, but I was looking for a buyer. I found an investor who is purchasing the land. I'm going through a real estate attorney instead of doing the whole thing with like a real estate company and all of that. It's cheaper for everybody. It's faster in theory, but it's also more casual and laid back, which technically my closing was supposed to be like 2 days ago, and I haven't heard back from the lawyer. Like, I signed all my paperwork, but like we still need to do like the final paperwork. So I have no idea what's going on. He actually has a summer house here, and then he lives like 2.5 hours away. So we've been doing a lot of business on the weekend when he's been in town at his like vacation home. So I'm hoping that's what's going on, and I'll hear from him this weekend, because we need to get chopping on this, because I think I finally found a place. So I have been searching for, like I said, for like 2 years. But really seriously, like since the beginning of this year, like kind of like desperately searching, when I had the idea of just selling the house and then figuring out whatever happens after that. If I have to camp for a while, I got like a snazzy new like glamping tent, so that should be fun at the very least. But it's been very up in the air, and I've been very nervous the closer we've been getting to me actually needing to be out of my house. So this is where we are right now. I signed on 8 acres yesterday. Oh my gosh. So I found a house. It was that house on 20 acres that it had owner financing. I found the number in like the listing, so I gave it a text and I was like, hey, tell me more about this property. And the guy whose phone number was in the listing was actually the owner. And so he got right back to me and he was like, yeah, you know, it's rural residential, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, crap, that's not going to work. I really need agriculture. You know, I've got sheep, blah, blah, blah. So he sends me another listing that was his, and it was like $270,000 for 8 acres and a mobile home. And I was like, yeah, I saw that one, but it's a little steep for like a mobile home on 8 acres. I'm just like being honest with you. And he said, well, it actually appraised out for $285,000. And I'm like, this is not like in a particularly nice area. Like, it's not like a bad area or anything, but like, it's not, this is not like a super like great area that a mobile home on 8 acres should cost $285,000. So no. So I happened to look through some other listings on land.com, and the same real estate company as the other 2 properties that the owner had sent me had some land listed. And it was basically part originally of like an 80-something acre farm, and they split off the 1840s farmhouse in 37 acres, which had already sold. It would have been above my budget anyway, so I couldn't have gotten that one, but the house is amazing. Like, it needs work, but like, it's an 1840s farmhouse. It is so cool. But the rest of the property was subdivided into 4 lots. And so I'm like, ooh, I really like this. I'm gonna go and take a look at it. And so I went and I looked, and there was one lot that was 11 acres. Not a huge fan of that one because it had big old power lines running straight up the middle of the property, and there was a pond at the back of it that's basically split between the 1840s house, the 11 acres, and then the like 15, 16 acres on the lot next to it. And so, sorry, neighbor just drove by. Wasn't really keen on like sharing a pond because it'd be great to use for water for the sheep, but all it takes is one of those other properties to put in row crops and have like all of their fertilizer run off into the water and then poison my sheep, and we're just not playing that game. So I wasn't keen on that one. I did kind of like that like 15, 16 acres, 14 acres, I don't know, whatever it was. It did cut off kind of the edge of the pond, but it was smaller on the property, so it wasn't like eating up a lot of the acreage. Mostly open, little bit of woods, nice size, but it was more expensive. Next to that was a 13-acre lot, again, about half wooded, half open, same price as the 11 acres, probably partially because it didn't have the water feature and it had some woods on it, so it wasn't completely clear. I'm like, ooh, I really like that one. And on the end, there was an 8-acre lot, and I was like, it's a little bit small for what I want, but it is less expensive. So I drove by, loved the land, got back to the guy that was like, I think either the 13 acres or the 8 acres are going to be the way to go, just because the 8 acres are more affordable, you know, right? And I'd have more money at the outset to get things going. Well, he didn't get back to me right away. And so I drove out there again because I wanted to actually park and get out of the car and walk like on the land to make sure I liked it. And I really liked the lay of the 8 acres. Like I noticed that like just where it was, and it's gonna be the easiest place to put on the driveway. It's got a backstop of trees on one side, so that way I'm like not out in the open exposed on both sides. It just felt right. So those 8 acres, I'm like, that's what we're gonna go with. But I noticed the for sale sign, the guy that I was texting with wasn't the same guy listed on the sign as like the real estate agent. And there were 2 different numbers on the sign, and neither one of them matched the guy I'd been texting with. And so I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. So I immediately got in my car and texted both numbers on the sign. The guy whose name was on the sign got right back to me. He's like, oh, it's me. I'm the real estate agent. I can help you get everything squared away. So basically what this is an so it's I guess it's a real estate company, but it's made up of investors. And so they do everything in-house. So you've got all these investors who buy land and they put it up for sale under this one parent company. And so the individual owner of the land might be a different person, but it's all controlled by the same company. And so they've got everything in-house. Their financing is in-house. Their closing attorneys are in-house. They do all the title searches. They do surveys. So this lot's been surveyed and has the markers out. Yeah, everything's done in-house. And so like even I was going to ask if I could go out early and start like trimming back because the brush is like chest high. So I couldn't do like a full, I just did like around the outside. I couldn't get to the middle because I literally couldn't walk through it. It was so tough. And the guy's like, oh yeah, we're gonna, we're working on bush hogging it now. We started closer to the house because the house sold, but we're bush hogging the whole thing. So by the time I get out there, it's also gonna be cleared. So it's gonna be great. It does have woods at the back that he told me are not, there's no restriction on like eventually clearing or thinning them. However, I did read the contract and I can't do it while I still owe money on the house. So they can actually take legal action on you. The lenders, which is like the owner because it's owner financing, can take legal action if you chop down the trees because the trees are part of the value of the lot. So you can't take anything down that's a greater diameter than 6 inches, which is fine, at least for now, because anything that I would need for like firewood or thinning it out for the sheep to get more light to come through, it would be under 6 inches that I'd be pulling down anyway. But if you're looking for land, that's something to ask, because if there are trees, you might not be able to clear it if you have any sort of loan on the property. So think about that. And there's, I couldn't get far enough back in the woods, so I don't know if there's any water back there. But it's all pretty flat, it's a little bit rolling, but it's perfect, absolutely perfect for sheep. So very excited about that. Again, so I now have 8 acres of my own. No house, but I have 8 acres. Starts sometime. It's Tuesday, September 20 something. I don't even know at this point. But I also got mail in the mail, right? And I've got a bunch of stuff that I've been waiting to open to show you on camera. But I had to open this because I was like dying to see it. So I got more yarn. So excited. So if you remember from the dogwood fiber crawl, yeah, I think that's right. Dogwood fiber crawl, something like that, that I did my video on earlier this year. It's a yarn shop crawl here in Virginia. When I was out at Magpie Knits in Charlottesville, I found a yarn from the Primrose Yarn Company, and it's called Homestead. They come in sport in worsted, and it's Spin Cycle-esque. So I was thinking about doing the Ooey Gooey cowl. I really kind of wanted to do the sweater. Like, it looked cute, but it wasn't really in my style. And so I didn't want to get like caught up in like thinking I wanted to make this sweater and then start it and then hate it. But when the cowl came out, I'm like, I can totally do that. And that'll scratch the itch to do the pattern and we'll be happy. There's a knit along for it. Perfect. I look at Spin Cycle, and because it's made out of Spin Cycle and then like a fluff. And I couldn't find a Spin Cycle color that really called to me. Like, I just couldn't. Like, there were colors that I liked, but like nothing was like calling my name to spend that much money on it. And so I was thinking about this Primrose yarn, and I went on the website to see if maybe there was color. They had a color I liked, and they do have some pretty colors,
But again, there was just nothing in that style of yarn that was really calling to me. I happened to notice they had a yarn called Replay. Their Replay yarn, which also comes in sport and worsted, is made from their mill scraps, right? So you always have extras when you're milling yarn. Well, they throw all their colors together and they make these special colors, right? Oh my gosh. And they're bigger skeins. So instead of having to get 2 skeins of the like Spin Cycle-esque yarn, I just had to get 1. Check out this color, guys. And I love the fact that it looks like hand spun yarn. You see how it's like a little slubby, a little thick and thin? Like it's not going to be, I don't want to say it's not going to be noticeable when you actually knit it up. It'll give it just a little bit of extra texture, and it's sheepy. But here's what the label looks like, right? And it's like, it's sheepy, so it's not super soft and fluffy, but it would be perfect for sweaters, hats, mitts. I'm very excited. Now, if you're sensitive to wools, this might be a little, like it's feeling a little scratchy on my face. Not on my hands, though. I think I'm really going to like it. Like, this is a type of wool that I really, really like. And so this is their batch number 1 of their medium pink. It's kind of like, once it's gone, it's gone. And so actually when I was on there, I was having like a panic attack because there were a few colors that I liked. And like, as I was trying to decide which I wanted, they were going out of stock. And I'm like, no. So I had to like choose fast. But it's 500 yards, 3-ply sport, 100% upcycled wool blend, locally milled and dyed in York, Pennsylvania. So that's the color that I got for like the like ooey gooey drippy part. And then of course you need fluff. So I had to get 2 skeins of the fluff. This is their cute little label. I love everyone's like logos. I need to get myself a better logo, guys. So this is the color Black Forest in their Kriya Cloud, which is a lace weight, 328 yards, 50 grams, 74% Surrey alpaca, and 26% silk. Again, it's hand dyed in York, Pennsylvania. So I got 2 of those, right? And then together with the pink. Oh, it is so up my alley for an ooey gooey. It's gonna look fantastic together. But then there's this other yarn. I went on their worsted, and I didn't have anything in mind, right? But there is a cardigan. I've never made a cardigan. I think that's accurate. I've never made a cardigan because I don't usually wear them. But there's one I've been dying to make, and I cannot remember what the name of it is right now, but I'll like throw up a picture. And it just looks so squishy and gorgeous. It's like grandpa yarn, but not. And so it's called Gravel. Again, it's that Replay in the worsted, but it's got these like neon specks. And you know how I've been dying to do something neon, even though I hate neon. But like from far away, right? It doesn't look neon, but it's got the pops up close of neon, so I can wear it without feeling neon-y, but I can knit with it and get the neon excitement. So I'm very excited about this. So for the worsted, it's 300 yards. 300 yards. Yeah, it doesn't tell me how much it weighs. With 3-ply worsted. Oh my gosh. Guys, I am so excited. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got 5 of these to make that cardigan. I am so excited. It is going to be so fantastic when it is done. I don't know when I'm going to cast down because I've got 100 other projects to do. But I'm loving this. All right, so I gotta go feed the sheep as fast as I can because the allergies are killing me. I'm gonna go to work. But then I'll show you the other stuff I bought, okay? All right, check in later. All right, guys, it is now Thursday, back with some packages to open. I don't know if we'll do all 3 of them right now or if we'll split them up because we've got like another heat wave going on. It's 92 in September, whereas like the last 2 weeks have been absolutely gorgeous. So I have no idea what is going on, but that's neither here nor there. We'll deal with it as it comes. So, Junction Fiber Mill has a yarn that's Spin Cycle-esque, and so I was looking at them when I was looking for something for my ooey gooey. Again, really pretty colors, but just nothing was like calling out to me for this particular project. However, they had a Halloween box, and I had to get it because two reasons. The first reason, I'm so excited, oh my gosh. Ooh, it's a little candy. We'll have that as a snack in a minute. Okay. And we cannot leave that up on the windshield or it will melt. Oh gosh, there's more stuff in here. Hang on. Hang on. What we got? What we got? So we've got ourselves a little postcard. See, that's what their stuff looks like. How pretty is that? Again, it's not that I didn't like the colors, because hello, those are gorgeous. It just wasn't singing to me for this particular project. But there's a little information about their mill. So super cute with that. Then you got a sticker. Always love a good sticker. And then the project that was recommended, you'll understand this in a second. The project that was recommended for this particular kit was the Harlow Flip, right? So already made one of these and absolutely loved it. I really want to do one that's not in syncopated brioche, so that like the hem, the cuff, the brim, whatever, is a different color from the top of the hat, but then it's still still reversible. And yeah, so remember how when I was looking for colors for a second hat before, I wanted something kind of neon, but I couldn't find something neon? Wait for it, guys. All right, so the real reason why I wanted this kit, and it had nothing to do with the yarn. The yarn could have sucked and I would have ordered it anyway. Trigger sheep. Look. How stinking cute is this bag? That is the entire reason why I ordered this kit. Trigger sheep. Anyway, so sorry. I love it. And then the yarn, I've never gotten anything from Junction Fiber Mill before. So, oh, there's more snacks in here. It's like some little caramels, it looks like. The ingredients in the back. That's an added bonus. And look at the colors, guys. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm like moving you all over the place. Check that out! For a Harlow Flip. Really? Like seriously, guys? It is the right combination of horrifically bright and neon. And it's purple. I hate purple, but everything I get is purple because I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. And then later I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's purple. So, purple and bright green. How gorgeous. So about the yarn itself. So this is Making Tracks, 100% American wool. It's made in White River Junction, Vermont. They've been around since 2021. Oh, here we go. So this is their heavy DK weight in the color Brat, and it's 200 yards. And then this is their color Vampire, also in their heavy DK weight in 200 yards. So it is on the sheepy side, but definitely good for a hat. I'd say it's a little softer on the face than the Primrose was yesterday, but it is kind of a similar feel. It's very airy, not super dense. I feel like the Primrose is a little bit more dense. This one, I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit more lofty. A little bit of a fuzz to it. Oh my gosh, this is gonna make an awesome hat. This would also be really good for sweaters, mitts, anything. I wouldn't say it's like soft and drapey, but something that you want a little structure to it, like mitts or mittens, hats, sweaters. Like, I think this would be really great. All right, so that's package number one. All right, so package number two is from Paradise Fibers, their Fiber of the Month Club, which is now Fiber of Every Other Month Club, which I think timing-wise works out better. It's a little bit more expensive than their monthly club, but they supposedly are adding like more stuff to it than what was in their monthly club. So I don't know. I keep debating on whether or not I want to cancel this, because there's some other subscriptions and things that I would like to try, but I don't want to have too many. So let's go ahead and open it, and we'll use this month to decide if we're going to continue with Paradise Fibers. Now, I've never had any issue with them. If you want a Fiber of the Month club, go for it. They're great. I just don't know if it's serving my particular purposes anymore. But let's see what we got this month. Is our box. Look how pretty they always have everything so nicely packaged. And our card this month says we've got cozy fall vibes. We've got something called caramel. Do you say caramel or caramel? So I say caramel when it's an adjective, like a caramel latte. But if it's like the candy, it's a caramel. What's your opinion? Tell me in the comments. But anyway, this is an indulgent blend of camel, tussa silk, and alpaca. Right, and then we have our apple color, which is Shetland and tussa silk. So here's our little sticker. How cute is our little sheep in the apple container? Here is our keychain, which it describes as a handy sheepy charm, also rumored to ward off vampires. I'm not super happy with that quality. So it's clearly a laser cut, which is not the issue, but like nobody even bothered to take a piece of sandpaper to it to like get off the scorch marks. And it's shaped kind of like a yarn cutter, but there's no blade inside to actually cut the yarn. So I don't know what they were going for. Not real happy with that quality, guys. And then our stitch marker is an apple. And you guys have heard me say this before. Like, I'm super happy to get like free stitch markers. Like whenever I go to Center of the Yarniverse, they've got like a monthly free stitch marker, and it's a light bulb clip with like a charm on the bottom of it. This one's an apple. But when somebody's like advertising as like you get a stitch marker as part of like a kit or something, this feels really cheap to me. I mean, I use the stitch ball markers like all the time, but they do eventually kind of wear out. The colored ones, the color eventually flakes off usually, and the charm is hard to deal with on that. So I feel like if you're buying the charm, that just feels cheap to me. So our sticker is always cute, but I don't know. My Notions pack is not really doing it for me this month. Ooh. So very pretty, very soft. It's like this, it's showing up more red on camera than like in person. It's a little more of a pinky red. And it's got these like kind of caramel color stripes going through it. And you can see the white tussa silk. All right, so that's what that looks like. It is a really pretty kind of just natural color. Again, it's camel. But it's got that nice like shine to it. How pretty is that? Super soft. Oh my gosh. And it smells very animal-y. It has a very strong animal smell to it. Now, I'm not complaining because I like a good animal smell. It's unusual though for like a processed fiber to smell like that though. It smells like I just opened like a bag of raw sheep's wool. I'm thinking I am probably gonna cancel because again, it's pretty and it's nice, but it's just not serving my spinning needs right now. So thank you, box. That has decided that for once and for all. And our last package for today is coming from Ireland. I think that's where Hedgehog Fibers is from. Are you from Ireland? Yep, Cork. So I got their, I don't remember if it was like a potluck or like a mystery color or whatever, but it was their dark colorway, I think. They put it out in like small batches of just kind of like leftover fibers, so you don't know exactly what you're getting. But they separate it by colors. So when this was out, they had like a pastel version and a dark version. So I got the dark version. And so this doesn't feel like a lot, but it must be vacuum packed. It's 125 grams of cone top. Contents vary. It could include merino, silk, alpaca, sparkle, BFL, Surrey, sari silk, and more. So it's just all kinds of like random fibers. I thought something like this might be pretty to do, spin up and make the traveler shawl, which I think Andrea Mowry's, her version is using hand spun as well. And I just really like that. And so I got 1, 2, it's a little shiny, sorry, but look how pretty those colors are. It's got some like pops of bright warm colors in it, like the pink and the orange, but it's all against like a gray or brown background. And I think I got 4 of them. And so you can see that they're like not identical, but they're like related. So because they're vacuum packed, I'm not going to open them and pull them out right now. But you can see what that looks like. So hopefully we'll do a project soon. Sorry, I'm like tilting you guys all over the place. I hope like you're not getting seasick over there. But we'll do a project soon where we get this spun up and ready for that project. So